America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay, first thing on the agenda, approval of the special meeting minutes for July 29th, 2025.
Mr. Chairman, I have reviewed the minutes of the special meeting of July 29th, and I motion that we approve those.
I second it.
Call for vote.
Aye.
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 All right, Chief Dickey with monthly reports.
I have no reports.
No reports. Okay, we're going to change the agenda around a little bit for this meeting. Instead of calling for old business, we're going to call for public comments. Anybody would like to make a statement?
State your name and address, please.
Matthew Muse,
Okay.
802 Dalkey Drive, Mount
Thank you.
Pleasant, Indiana.
Thank you.
I don't know if there's an order for this that normally happens, but my name is Matt Muse. I just want to say anything I say here is not based on the sheriff's office. It's not an official statement from the sheriff's office. I just came from shift just now. And I'm showing up because this meeting was called for the mother of my daughter. And I'm showing up here as a police officer who has experience in these situations throughout my career. And I just wanted to voice my concerns about what's going on today. So I know there's been a motion entered for Officer Zlenica's termination from the department. And I know that is based on incidents involving crashes that has occurred during her career. I'd like to say, first of all, jumping straight to termination in any officer's career is not something I've ever seen during my time as a law enforcement officer. Anytime I've seen someone be terminated, which I've seen plenty, there's been some sort of repercussions, disciplinary actions, something along those lines before termination. Unless it's something to do with the criminal aspect, those kinds of things. But this is not involving that. She's obviously spoken with me a lot about her time here. And I've also been a part-time officer here, so I know about how some of the day-to-day operations go here. And part of her career here obviously was spent in field training. I'm also a field training officer at Porter County. I'm not currently doing that, but I went through the certification. I've trained many rookie officers, and I know how the process goes for that. One thing I'd like to say is that during field training, one thing that was told to us explicitly is that training needs to be documented daily. There needs to be daily observation reports that are signed off by the trainee, by the field training officer, the department. I know that's not the case here. I want that to be made clear going forward that the department does not follow that. They train officers on field training, and if they feel that the person's ready to be released, then they release them. I don't know anything further more about that. I got some notes I want to talk about here too. Going into more about my time as an officer, we use discretion. That's a big part of being an officer. It seems today that discretion has been used instead of lessening an outcome. It's been used to heighten an outcome, in this case, a punishment. Like I said, I've never seen someone who's been involved in a crash jump straight to termination. I've seen suspensions, remedial training involving going down to, like, say, Plainfield for evac training. I've seen, like I said, suspensions, informal disciplinary actions, things along that regard. Never seen it go straight to termination. I would hope that, my hope before today was that the department would use discretion for her in this matter, but it seems like that's not the case. I've already spoken about the training records that doesn't exist here. I've already said this is unprecedented in my career that I've seen. I know after this, if you decide to vote for termination, there is the possibility that could be taken in an appeal to the county courts. And obviously, all these things that I've spoken about can be brought up in the courts officially. I know this isn't, I can't bring forward evidence and stuff like that here, but I know those things can be brought forward in the county courts. Maybe things can change going forward with that. I'm just asking for you guys to think about it. I know you've had experience in policing, and I just hope for, I guess, grace, understanding. I know it's not your job to have grace and understanding, but just to think about the situation as a whole. That's about all I've got.
Right, what's your address, Devin?
Devin Zelenica, 802 Domkey Drive. I want to apologize. I did get into 2 crashes, one of which I was on US 20 going eastbound, and I saw a car coming 85 miles an hour, so I tried to turn. And as I was turning, a car came straight into me. It caught me by surprise, but it was my fault. The second one, I was not really taught geography at this department, and so I took a wrong turn onto Beam Street, thinking that it would go to US 12. It didn't. My tires were bald, so as soon as I hit the brake, it just skidded right into gravel. So unfortunately, that happened. I tried to maintain control of the vehicle the best that I could, but in the gravel road, there was a lot of like I don't know, like roots, and it just kept going. So I do want to apologize about that. To touch on what he said regarding the FTO process, there really isn't one at this department, unfortunately. I asked to be trained, and I begged for help from from my assigned FTO on a report in Premier One, and he never helped me. I asked for days, and it took Officer Reynolds to help me. So unfortunately, that wasn't a thing. I got told that I'm being treated as any other lateral coming in, and unfortunately, I came from Illinois, so some of this stuff here is kind of foreign to me. And so learning it was a struggle amongst trying to just teach myself geography. On shadow, I thought that meant like my FTO would come to calls with me, and that didn't happen either. And so my shadow period was just me being alone, trying to guess, you know. And unfortunately, it was very difficult. And I tried studying the online, criminal statutes as well as traffic statutes to ensure that I'm policing the best, for the town of Porter. But again, it was very difficult. I'm not going to badmouth the department because I actually really enjoyed, all the officers there. And Chief Dickey really did try to help me a lot, and he was very understanding and would, talk, everything through with me. So, I don't want to badmouth the department, but unfortunately, some of my FTO time was on station, and some of it was in the driveway of my FTO's house, and that did get brought up. And I just don't think that I had a fair chance. And I do take accountability for my mistakes. I didn't mean to crash, but it happened, and here I am. So I'm sorry. Thank you.
Thank you. No more comments from the public? Chief Dickey, we got new business, personal status review.
I've got one order of business. I've got a recommendation regarding probationary employee status. I respectfully recommend the Town of Porter Metropolitan Police Commission that the probationary employment of Officer Devin Zelenica be discontinued as her conduct and capacity have not been satisfactory during her probationary period.
All right, entertain a motion.
I make a motion that we concur with the chief's assessment. request.
Second it.
Call for a vote.
Aye.
Aye. Vote carries. Liaison comments.
Have none.
Comments from the commission members?
None.
Okay, a call for adjournment. Meeting is adjourned.